Guys, this is number 8 video for question and answer for the private membership group. DJ Guzman, who do you think really murdered Tupac in Las Vegas? I think that the FBI did. Or maybe LAPD. There were LAPD guys there. I believe that it's supposed to be that there was FBI people there, like a task force deal. If you really want to unravel some shit, start looking at CIA operations with gangster rap. There's a lot of stuff that seems to be true, that was actually put forth for the war on drugs or for drug sales, to boost drug sales. And it's kind of interesting to see where these gangster rap guys, the positions that they have in life right now, and none of them ever did any prison time, right? So there seems to be something to that. A lot of the guys that were involved in the higher levels of the rap business, those names were actually dudes that were CIA operatives and on CIA payroll. How do we know that? Watch the videos and just decide for yourself.
Tupac got shot in Vegas and Biggie in LA, right?
Yeah, I think so. Tupac got shot more than once.
Yeah, I think he was in New York. They tried to kill him in New York.
Look at Tupac shot those 2 off-duty police officers. Like, apparently they didn't identify. It does look like he defended himself. He got off on it too.
Yeah.
I mean, one of his best albums was like "Fuck You Guys," right? Picture me rolling.
Well, what I was gonna say was a lot of people don't realize that where Biggie was shot, it was in front of the Peterson Auto Museum. That is just south of Sunset and on the edge of Beverly Hills. And it's stop and go traffic all the time. You're not getting away from there unless the police helped you.
Yeah.
You know, like they would have pulled up to him, shot him, and then couldn't leave because there's so much traffic right there.
Like Las Vegas Boulevard.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like Tupac and Las Vegas Boulevard.
Bob Lester, a refugee family shows up outside your gate when shit hits the fan. What do? Can you give them aid? How much aid? I would shoot the child first.
I would say don't come here.
That's not what they're at. I don't think that's what they're asking. I'm answering this as though hypothetical, right? Armageddon, end of the world kind of shit, right? So shoot the child. Then they don't have to feed that little motherfucker. They could probably eat him too. You could skin him out, use him as a backpack. I mean, it'd be like a Yoda backpack. You could probably put like a fucking turkey inside there. I don't know, man. I think you know what the answer is. If you feed a stray dog, the stray dog comes back. Make it very unappealing. Like my real plan, collapse of society and like there's no more rule of law. You're gonna have looters and shit. I plan to put them on fucking poles out there, like rotting corpses at the end of the, like, oh, we don't want to fucking come up here, right? There's not gonna be any road traffic. The bridge up there isn't going to exist probably anymore, right? Or it's going to be barricaded in a manner that you're not getting through. You might get through on foot. You're probably not even crossing that fucking river, so nobody's coming that direction. The other direction, I would assume dudes will probably control the interstate entrances and exits at that point. We're not going to see mobs coming in. I mean, they could still come in kind of from Kentucky, but I mean, it wouldn't take shit to close 641 down there. I mean, it's a fucking 2-lane road. A dude with a bulldozer could, like, you're on foot at that point, so the mobs aren't coming. So it's going to be local shitbags for the most part, and I'm of the belief that everybody knows for the most part who the local shitbags are. I don't think it's going to be like prepper fiction, man. I think in the first fucking day when the local shitbag's up on somebody's porch, somebody's going to kill that motherfucker. So by the time we see him, that's a whole different fucking set of engagement rules at that point. But it's up to you, man. Do you want to have the conversation, right? Is that a doctor? Is that due to surgeon? Is that somebody that you need in your group? Or I would assume that Bob has his, I know he's working on a secondary location. I know that he has a lot of people already involved there. I would assume that it really is going to take some effort. You're not going to stumble upon Bob's property by accident. We drive all around here all the time, in and out of town, and I'm like, man, that is an awesome property, but it's right on the fucking road. Like, there is something to be said for a long road. And even my gravel driveway, at 6 weeks, if we stop maintaining, like, I drag it with a fucking harrow rake to kind of level it out and bring the big rock back up so that I'm not driving on, on the small tailings. I want the bigger rock because it preserves the driveway longer. When I don't spray, if we'd stop driving up and down the driveway, within 6 weeks, there's weeds and shit up and down the driveway. So most people aren't going to think, oh, there's something up there, right? We have, and I'm sure you do as well, Bob. I've got big, huge concrete blocks. We've got rail ties. I have fucking I keep piles of dirt here so that I can fucking block the driveway if I have to. We've got vehicles and shit we can block the driveway with. Like, you're not coming in here in a vehicle at that point. So
on my drive here, it's out in the middle of nowhere, windy road, and there's one driveway that I just recently noticed, and now I can't not see it. It's gravel, but about 10 feet into the tree line where the road would normally just go off into nothing, there's a gate there that looks like it costs like $50,000.
Yep.
And it's just a big sign to me saying there's something there that if I need it, I'll go get it there, you know?
It tells me two things. It tells me that there's something in there worth guarding,
mm-hmm.
and it tells me there's something in there that I very well might lose my life if I go up there.
Yeah, that is true, yeah.
Because people with money typically have other people near them for the most part,
mm-hmm.
and they will be more than happy to fucking kill you. Like, when the time comes, I think that's the thing. People, like, they don't really they've never been to another country where people kill people every day. They've never seen that. You want to see what things really will look like? Take your ass to Tijuana, see how that fucking goes for you. Like,
mm-hmm.
just go down to fucking Tijuana. Just cross over the border and see whether you want to be involved in that. Because that's what's coming.
I always talk about the people who say, like, come find me, I'll, whatever, fuck around, find out, that kind of shit. Like, they're on the internet saying this stuff. Signs at houses, nothing in this house is worth dying for. Those types of people. They don't know what real violence is. The people who know what real violence is don't say anything like that.
I know. On the other hand, in small towns, like especially east, like Appalachia and stuff, right? I have no doubt that there's fucking people that still fuck around and come to my door and they'll shoot your ass with a fucking shotgun.
Well,
right?
That's what I mean. The people who will do that aren't the ones talking about it.
Correct.
Yeah.
But yes, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But there are unsolved mysteries. There's like Camden, Tennessee has been on America's Unsolved Mysteries like 7 times.
Yeah.
Like, they kill motherfuckers here and just put them out in the fucking waterways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put them out in the swamps. There's fucking, you could walk around out here every day of your life and fucking walk right past a dead body and not know it.
Exactly, yeah.
Casey Kemp, if you had to leave your business for a year and the only communication you could have with your employees was a single paragraph, what would I don't have a fucking clue, man. I don't have a clue. I did leave my business for 2 years and had 300 minutes a month and unlimited writing, right? I don't have a clue, man. No idea. You got anything on that?
Yeah, operate it as if I was still here.
The real thing, Casey Kemp, is it doesn't fucking matter because they're not going to do what you do. Nobody will do what you do at your level. That's why when you walk away from a business, it literally every day we're out of here takes 3 days to catch back up. In revenue, in anything, everything. As good as our people are, left to their own devices, they do not make the product we need, and a lot of times they make just the simple stuff. That's always, I have to task things. As good as my people are, I have to go, that brings no money in today. We got to do this other thing, right? We always have to. It's a constant balance, song and dance. We make products that we really don't make money on. It's like the lost leader, right? It's at the grocery store. They always put eggs on sale to get you to come in because you're going to buy other bullshit while you're there. It's the same fucking thing, man. Brian Frazier. John, you've looked into stem cell treatment. Bioaccelerator on IG and Eddie Bravo went to one in TJ. So yeah, I heard they were doing some things out of Tijuana so that you don't actually have to go to Panama. There's some fucking cancer centers also in Tijuana, and there's some detox centers. I know somebody very fucking close that was recently in Tijuana at one of these centers. Now, the stem cell therapy stuff, right? I believe, now I could be wrong, but it used to be, once you have a pre-existing condition, you have a very small window to start treating that. It can't be fixed. So if you have some tear or you need something done, you can't go years later and it's not going to regrow anything. It has to be recent. I don't know that to be the fact today. But I will definitely check out Bio Accelerator. And I mean, I know who Eddie Bravo is. I know some guys that know Eddie Bravo. But I will definitely look into those. The Big Squirrel. John, how did you come up with the ITW G-Hook low profile closure for the EDC low profile belt? I was showing some people at work my belt and was explaining its quality. I was thinking to myself, how the hell did someone come up with that idea? Awesome design, great appendix carry. The real answer, ITW Nexus made the buckle for other things, like in putting a placard up on armor. I don't know what the initial push was for that. A lot of it is government request stuff. There was a dude making EDC belts with the Cobra buckle, talking shit. So I was curious. He drew a lot of attention. He drew my eyeballs to his page. And while he was busy talking shit about us, he made a belt with an ITW G-hook on it, and it had one loop. I made our belt the exact same way and put 4 loops so that we had much more adjustment, mostly for law enforcement officers or lawyers and stuff walking in and out of court. You could take your in-the-waist holster off, secure it in your vehicle, and have just as much adjustment. I only built those belts to begin with because that dude was talking shit. It's become one of our biggest sellers. It never was on my radar. We might very well today not even build that belt had it not been for that guy talking shit. We had another dude used to work for us that was building combat cocks. He took off, and I started building some combat cocks, and he hit Amanda up. He's like, what did he say? Why is John trying to fuck? I don't remember. Why is John trying to fuck up my business or whatever? And what I did was, that was his thing. He was building combat cocks and selling them. So we built 1,000 of them. We literally had fucking bins full, and we gave them away. I gave them away because he was talking shit, and I did it to fuck with him. And we did that a lot. When dude, you notice guys aren't talking shit all over the internet anymore, especially guys with companies or think that they're somehow in the same field as my industry. They stopped talking shit because once they got my attention, it was a game for me. And I could afford to do what they could not afford to do. So we would literally take the thing that they were known for and we would give it away as our promotion item. We did that a lot. Like when we run a promotion, even what's the last promotion we did? Labor Day? 4th of July maybe? Day. Memorial Day? When we give those bags away, the free bag takes oftentimes more labor than the items that you're buying to get the free bag. Like, it is a lot, especially when we let you guys order your own colors of those. We spend weeks of labor building the free thing, and those other companies just can't compete with it. Like, you can talk all the shit you want until I fucking get a hold of you talking shit. Once you have my attention, I am going to fuck you up. Like, I am literally going to fucking destroy your business. And they just can't grasp it, right? They take it becomes so personal, and it literally consumes their whole entire business for months. And while I'm having fun. Like, if you want to see me motivated, show me somebody talking shit about me where we can fucking affect them and compete somehow. I am willing literally to go out of I'm literally willing to not have any fucking money of my own or I'm willing to not take a check in order to play that fucking game. They can't do that. That's just, I love it. I fucking thrive on that shit. St. Jacobson, since entering the Thunderdome and asking my first question, I have been doing the things, working out every day, eating healthy, effective sleep habits. To number 1, fix my mind. Number 2, eventually lose the fat tire around the middle. It's working, and it's an ongoing process. Community interaction brought up HRT as a parallel path. I think it's the same path, buddy. I mean, it helps, definitely. I'm asking you from your perspective, what got you started? Is there a dependency once on it? The routine for taking it, advice in retrospect. You mentioned submitting routine lab every 6 weeks versus in-person visits, lowering per dose cost by sourcing different suppliers. I don't know what I don't know, and there's a lot of conflicting info on the internet. and a glooming taboo quickly fading. I know you're a proponent, but trust you over someone financially invested in selling it, possibly making a dependent consumer when we, in the like-minded group, are striving for independence. Okay. Yes, once you're on it, this is something you're going to want to continue for the rest of your life. I used very high doses at young ages. It probably affected and lowered my testosterone level. So you have two different levels. A lot of times you'll go and they'll test you and you're like, your testosterone's 1,000. That's not the fucking number you need. Has nothing to do with the number you need. You need to know what free testosterone is. And then you're probably not going to get testosterone from your general physician or your practitioner. A lot of these guys have just set up testosterone. Have you noticed how many there are? HRT and testosterone clinics, hormone therapy clinics. It's literally like check cashing places were in the 90s. It's like fucking everywhere because there is so much money in it. It's like Botox. The most profitable thing within any of those fucking industries is Botox. It's literally that you make fucking thousands of dollars every time you do Botox. Like the fucking profit margin is insane on Botox, and it's similar to that. We use Optimize You because they're constantly evolving. They can show you studies. They can show you paperwork. They're constantly growing. It's not just a money thing. I have a lot of conversations face to face with these guys. It's just like talking to Justin Swinney. We can talk steroids, but why, right? What is it? What implements with it? How does it actually work? What receptors is it hitting? What receptors is it shutting down? How old are you? Do you need hormone replacement therapy? What level do you want? Like I want maximum. I'm at 50 years old. I believed the same thing at 30 years of age also. I want the most I can get. Will it take off the end of my life? Maybe. I don't know. But these are fucking really, really good years. I feel good. I perform well. When you wake up in the morning, is your dick fucking as hard as this bottle? Is it this big? If it's not, your test is probably a little low. Do you want to have sex multiple times a day? If it's not, your test is probably low. When you fucking lay down on the pillow, do you fall asleep? If not, there's a good chance that your test is low. A lot of dudes taking hormone replacement therapy are actually just fucking lazy. They are not working out, right? That's the golden ticket right there. When you are taking hormone replacement therapy and working out, you can get the anabolic effect. You got to not put shit in your body too. You can get super fat while taking testosterone. You still have to put good. If you're not putting good shit in you, you're not going to build anything good out of it. Go. What do you got?
Most people on the planet are deficient in testosterone because
including women,
especially women, because of the food that we eat. The water that falls out of the sky is tainted, the ground is no longer saturated with nutrients, and our bodies are no longer primed to make what we need in order to survive. Once you start supplementing your hormones, you will continue to need to because you are not making them. That's why you need them to begin with. As far as you were saying something about lowering your per dose cost, the best thing for you to do is to get hooked up with a provider who is going to provide you with the optimum dosage, and you pay them whatever they ask you to pay them, and you live like you feel fucking amazing. That's the best way.
Let me say also, when you go to a hormone replacement clinic, the testosterone or the anabolics that you get are way cheaper than buying them on the black market or from a dude at the gym. A lot of it comes from AIDS patients. The truest, cleanest stuff a lot of times. When you get around the bodybuilding industry, you will find avenues to get, they call it gear, right? It's not called steroids anymore. It's called gear. It has been for 20 years now. When you get it legal, U.S. manufactured, real, legit shit, Organin or whoever, it's way cheaper when you have a prescription. I mean, insanely cheaper. Like a tenth of the price. And then they do your blood work. They look at all your shit. if they're only telling you a couple of things, like you want a doctor that's going to go, hey, your vitamin D is low, even though he's your testosterone guy, right? Hey, your vitamin D is low. Hey, your cholesterol's a little high. Hey, your estrogen, but we want a little bit of estrogen for future onset of dementia, right? It actually protects you. A little bit of estrogen protects you from dementia. I didn't fucking know that. I always thought, man. And then we got a buddy that worked for us who went to a hormone replacement place in Nashville, not the guys we were using. And within a few weeks, he's like, his fucking tits hurt. He's emotional. He's being a little bitch. You know what the solution was? They literally were giving him just enough testosterone that it was converting and raising his estrogen levels. So he was way fucking high on estrogen and deficient on testosterone. It actually fucked him up more than without it. And you know what the solution was? When he went to the other clinic, they literally doubled his dosage and boom, he fucking had energy. He fucking stopped. The bloatiness went away. His performance went up. I mean, everything fucking changed. We've had dudes working for, and I'm never like, hey, we got a guy that'll give you, testosterone. They ask us about it, right? So we have the conversation and like, go get your blood checked. And we've had a dude got his blood checked and he's like, my testosterone's fucking high. Like, I don't need testosterone. Awesome. We've had a lot of dudes that are like, hey, my testosterone, like you have the testosterone at 30 years old of a 13-year-old girl. Mm-hmm. Like there's a lot of it. And it is. We are drinking and consuming fucking poison. Like, I don't think people even realize the poison they're consuming. If you're using anything that has a bread product on it, anything that comes through the window at a fast food place, in a lot of countries, they can't even call what they're giving you meat legally. Like, the United States allows shit to happen in the United States that other countries don't even allow to happen, even in fucking shithole countries. It's a trip. And if you're eating that, it is blocking uptakes of a lot of things. If you're drinking any water out of the tap that's chlorinated, especially fluoridated, chlorine, bromine, fluoride, they block the uptake of iodine. Iodine controls the entire endocrine system of your body. It controls a lot of your hormones. But you need a dude that will actually look at your shit and go over it with you. If you're interested, our guy, I don't get any discount. I don't get any dollars. I don't have an affiliate code. I get nothing for fucking telling you about our guy. Our guy just fucking has changed my life for the better. And then while we're at it, so I can put you on with our guy. He has clinics all over the United States at this point. But you had asked, once you're on it, what happens when you go off it. During COVID, in the beginning when we thought this was real, I went probably 18 months with zero testosterone, zero inputs whatsoever. And all through COVID, I made a lot of videos. You saw a lot of performance and a lot of completion on things. And I look back and go, man, what a wasted fucking 18 months. Imagine what I would have done with testosterone. I didn't really work out during COVID. I was eating a lot of ice cream during COVID. And I say COVID, just during when people were locked down, right? I was using it as an excuse to just eat shit. I wasn't working out really well. I wasn't sleeping good at all. And that was the hormone thing. But even with everything I got done in that time period, imagine what I would have went down if I had optimized my hormones. So yeah, when you go without it, what happens? You're going to have lesser drive. You're going to have lesser of that. Just, I'm going to get these things done. You can supplement that and gain some of that back with caffeine and stimulants and other things. But imagine when you can do all of it and it works perfectly, right? Remember, like, you always think about, man, when I was 20, I could just go and run, or when I was 17 on the track squad, or when I was in football training, I could do 2 a days. A lot of that is testosterone. That was your hormones working, right? And a lot of times now it's just compounding, right? When you put shit in your body, the shit doesn't come out in your body. It continues to build up in your body. Like, you have to go through a detox to remove some of that shit. You got anything else on that?
Women need it too. Anytime you hear a woman who's like, oh, I've gained 20 pounds in the last year, or I don't have energy to be intimate with my partner, or I have no sex drive, or I feel fat, or I feel frumpy, or I'm too tired, or any of that, she needs to go have her hormones tested, because I guarantee you there's a deficiency in there somewhere. And a lot of people don't realize, if you just start taking a little bit of extra vitamin D, you're going to get a little bit of a boost. But if you're severely deficient in any of the major hormones, that's not going to cut it. But for some people, a little bit of extra vitamin D will make a big difference, because vitamin D is a pro-hormone. It helps transfer into testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone.
It is not a vitamin. It is deceptive. Vitamin D is not a vitamin, and you can take a lot of vitamin D. At the worst, you're going to secrete it and pass it out. But vitamin D, the USDA's recommended daily allowance, is the bare fucking minimum.
It's
like
like
the
enough to
bare
keep you alive.
minimum. And people are like, well, I get sun. You don't absorb sun the way we used to. It doesn't matter if you're outside. Like, it's not expensive. You need a vitamin. What's the carrier you need?
Olive oil.
You want it in olive oil. What's the brand that we use?
Sundown, I think.
It's not expensive. Take one right before bed. Take two right before. You can take up to fucking like 20,000 IUs of this shit. Rhonda Kirkpatrick talks about it a lot. Check her material out. Joe Rogan has had her on a lot. Joe Rogan talks about it a lot. Look at that. If you want to read the fucking the lab work and read the studies on it, it's definitely available if you look for it. Tyler Mallory, what do you think about owning two semi-separated pieces of property within 50 miles? One as your compound, one as your bug out, or even just off-site storage to keep a second stash of goods. Would you have a structure on the second, or maybe just a couple of cellars? Man, you're only limited by money, buddy. 50 miles away is a long ways. 25 is, you're going to visit 25 miles a lot more than you're going to visit 50 miles. When you visit there, are you just going to go there, piddle around and look at your shit? Or is it going to be comfortable where you would actually stay there for a weekend? Take your pick, man. Roll those dice. The bigger the compound that sits empty, the more people are going to want to break in it. With that said, if they broke in it, can you secure your shit, right? Is it are we pouring a concrete slab? Pour some boxes under the concrete slab. Have an entry somewhere else. Have it under debris. Have a sub layer to it. Man, you're only limited by money.
And think about will you be able to get to it. Last week we were talking about earthquakes in California. My big one for like my generation was Loma Prieta, where the Bay Bridge fell. If you're in San Francisco and you're trying to get to the East Bay, you're not going to get there. The Bay Bridge fell down. Or it didn't fall all the way
waterways,
down.
bridges.
But yeah, so like if it's 50 miles, can you get to it at any point that you need to get to it?
You guys should play that game anyways, just like turning your electricity off for the weekend. Just turn your fucking circuit breaker. Don't even tell, man, my kids, whatever. Don't even fucking ask them. Go to your circuit breaker, turn the motherfucker off, and let them just believe the power's off. It's not an option, right? So figure out what you're going to do then. We just saw a bunch of people die in Texas because it was cold in their house. You can camp. Your house is a fucking shell. Put a tent in there with some blankets. I mean, make a fucking blanket for it. Do whatever. Get in your car this Saturday and just drive north for an hour. Look around. Drive north. Just look around. You don't even have to write no shit down. Just look around and play that game. Could we stay here? Is that emptied? Could we pull in here? Could we conceal the vehicle here? Could we stash some things here? Does it look like they're going to develop this property soon if we had a cache here? Are they going to dig it up and our cache isn't going to be there, right? And then do next weekend, the weekend after, go south, then east, then west, and just draw a circle, right? Just figure that out. 50 miles, a lot of people buy properties that are like 3-4 miles away, 3 or 4 hours away. They don't ever go there. Fuck, I have a building that is a quarter mile from here that I'm in maybe twice a year, and we literally go in there just to go in there. Like I have tons of shit there. It's still, we have power on, it's got an alarm system, everything's still there. I don't ever go there. It's there. I literally keep that building so that I don't have to move all the shit out of the building, and I don't want it here, and I don't have to worry about getting rid or selling or putting it into building another storage unit or something. It is easier for me to just maintain that property financially, but we don't ever fucking go there. We literally never go there, ever. And it's a quarter mile from here. So if I had a property, like we talk about every time we go to Gatlinburg or Chattanooga, I'm like, we should get a place here. Like, I really like it here. We would never fucking go there. So that Tyler, man, you gotta figure that out. Like, you just have to decide that. I think it's a great idea, but having a property somewhere does you fucking no good if, like, there's nothing there that you want to go to, right? So do you want to spend time there? And if you're spending time developing that, what's it taking away from your place, right?
Yeah, man, I'm talking about realest, one of the realest.